Assalamu alaikum students. This is the recording for chapter 1 lecture Introduction to System Analysis and Design. This slide show the learning outcomes of this chapter, which will introduce you to the information system and information technology in a company. Now we look at the introduction. Here it says companies use information to sustain and survive and to increase productivity. So information is very important for business organization or any other organization to have a successful future. So here it says IT can mean the difference between success and failures. Yeah, so meaning information system and information technology can bring success, but if not used properly, it can give failure to the company. Impact of information technology. So information technology, as you know, consists of hardware and software, and also the people who are using it in the organization, and also their clients, and also their consumer. A vital asset that must be used effectively, so that it can bring success to the company. The future of IT see robust growth, and there's a lot of very promising future, because now more and more people are going towards information technology. More and more people are using information system. So the companies who are well ahead, in their investment and their practices of information technology and information system will be able to get the most out of their activities. The role of system analysis and design. System analysis and design is a step-by-step process for developing high-quality information system. So here you will see how system analysis is the way forward of developing a system. And you don't develop a system in one leap, but you develop them in step by step. Okay, how does information system being developed? It can be in-house application developed by the company itself, software packages. You buy software readily in the market, internet-based application services, outsourcing, meaning that you ask somebody or some other company outside of your company to build your system, custom solutions, enterprise-wide software strategies, and how versus what is the strategies of how to do it rather than what. A system is a set of related components that produce specific results. So you have a whole of a system, and it has specific components inside the system. Mission critical system is one that is vital to a company's operation, and data consists of basic facts that are the system's raw material. So here it mentioned data is raw, because if you collect data and you don't process the data, it will not give you any meaning. So data is processed to produce information. So here you can see the 5 key components of information system. So by looking at this figure, you know that information system is not just hardware and software. It also involves data. It involves the processes, because the processes will make sure the data change to information. So you need to process it correctly, then you will get the correct information from your information system. And then the one of the vital component also is people, the people who is processing it, and also the people who will be using it. If you have an information system but nobody is using it, so it will not give you success. hardware, physical layer of information system, and Moore's law here it mentioned that over several years, yeah, computer will gain its power, ya, penggunaan kuasa pada komputer itu akan berlipat kali ganda dalam masa beberapa tahun. Ya, every few years, the power of the computer power will increase exponentially. Yeah, that is mentioned in Moore's law, meaning that when you build a system, you have to build the system not just for now, but also for future, because in a few years' time, the technology will change and will be better. Software, here are different type of software, so that you know that when you say software, it can be various type of software. Data, as we have mentioned just now, raw material that will be processed to become information, and information can be used to make decision making. Process, yeah, describe the task and business function that user manage, IT staff members perform to achieve specific results. Okay, what do you do to achieve some of your company's objective? And then people are stakeholders. Stakeholders are people that is important for your organization. It can be your client and consumer. It can also be your investor. It can also be your top management. Yeah, and here we are talking about users and also end users. Okay, understanding the business. Business is actually um, a set of processes that happen in an organization. Yeah, you can see in this example, business model handle sales order. Yeah, so when you say handle sales order, you are actually having a few steps. Yeah, event receive sales order. The process is to check the customer status, verify, and then enter the order, and then you complete sales order. So these are the business processes. Yeah, so you can have a lot of business processes in an organization, and each business processes can be further broken into smaller processes. And why is it important to understand business processes? Because when you understand business processes, some or maybe most of these business processes can be automated, ya, boleh ditukar kepada sistem, ya, daripada cara manual kamu boleh gunakan ke dalam cara berdasarkan proses automated. Okay, business profile define a company's overall function. So who is the customer of the company, what service do they do, who are their stakeholders, and so on. Business models, business model here it says graphically represented business function that consists of business process such as sales, accounting, and purchasing. Yeah, business process describes specific event. Business model in a business organization can have few business models, and each business model will have its own process. Business process re-engineering is here it says attempt by companies to simplify operation or reduce costs, meaning that you rearrange your business process. So you have the ordinary business process, so you understand what is your current business process. So to make it more efficient, so you undergo the business process so that the business process will undergo a re-engineering. Yeah, so you might automate the business process, you might speed up the business process, and so on. New kind of companies, because now you can see the trend is going towards paperless, going towards internet based. So there are many other kind of companies as listed here. Impact of internet, yeah, as we've mentioned, as internet become more reliable, more and more company become e-commerce and has They are e-commerce or I-commerce component. E is electronic commerce, I is internet commerce. So the B component here is business, C is consumer. So you can have B2C, B2B, and you can also have C2C. More impact of the internet is web-based system. More companies are investing and building their own website, whereby they interact with the customer directly. Yeah, and also not only they interact with their consumer or customer directly, they can have their business process being managed over the internet. How business use information system. In past, IT managers divided system into categories based on the user group of the system served. Office system, the work that is done in the office, the management part. Operational system, how to operate the business processes. Decision support system. So when you have information, you need to do decision on that information. So we can have information system to help or advise, yeah, the top management in a decision support system. And executive information system will supply the top management with very important information for their decision making. Next is how business use information system. Today, it makes more sense to identify a system by its function and feature rather than by its user. Yeah, so why? Yeah, uh, why or how? Yeah, what's the system perform? Enterprise computing system, transaction, jual beli, a business support system, knowledge management, and user productivity system. Enterprise computing system. When we say enterprise, so meaning that it supports company-wide operation and data management requirements. If the company has a lot of branches, yeah, or maybe branches and then they have agents under the branch, or they have branch and then they have sub-branch. So the enterprise computing system will be a computing system that will go throughout the company wide, yeah, not only in the main company, but also in the branch, in the sub branch, will in the agent. All of these level will be able to access the company system. Yeah, enterprise resource planning, ERP will look at the resources that the company has as a whole. Yeah, many hardware and software vendors target the enterprise computing market, because when you say enterprise computing, your client will be very big. Yeah, because it not only, if the company is a very big company, for example, we have um, Petronas. Yeah, Petronas is a international, multinational company, not only in Malaysia, but also in other countries. So when you are talking about enterprise computing system for Petronas, you are talking about a computing system that is not only accessible in Malaysia, but also in other countries, yeah, that has this Petronas operation, for example. Transaction processing system, transaction jual beli, involve large amount of data and are mission critical system. Transaction, for example, when you buy or sell and buy and sell goods in your company, so this TPS will record them all and will give feedback whether you are doing profit or you are experiencing loss. Business support system, provide job-related information to users at all level of company. For example, management information system, radio frequency identification system. So business support system hold a lot of information, yeah, for the company. And when you have this information, you can use it to let you know. For example, if you have your product in your uh, on your shelf, for example, at your supermarket. So do you know the product on the shelf is enough or not? So this business support system will let you know, yeah, whether you need to stock up, whether you need to order some more, and so on. Knowledge management system, or sometimes called expert system, can give human reasoning and can give advice to top management, yeah, based on the knowledge and also the rules given to the system. User productivity system can be any system that can support productivity. For example, the usage of Microsoft software is a user productivity system. A company that use Google as their backbone of their email system, for example, also example of a user productivity system. Yeah, it can be a groupware, and it can also have information system integration, meaning that all the information is integrated under a more common system. Information system users and their needs. Yeah, so a system analyst must understand the company's organizational model to recognize who is responsible for specific process and decision. So when you want to build an information system, which you will do in your project, you need to understand the company's goal, the company's processes, the company's user, so that the information system that you build will match the ability of the company. You need to know the top managers because they are doing the strategic planning for the company, the middle manager, the knowledge worker, supervisor, operational employees, yeah, all these different levels you need to know because they are the user of your system, of the information system. You need to recognize who can access what, yeah, because from different levels they will need to access different type of information. System development tool, yeah. When you want to develop a system, there's a variety techniques such as modeling, prototyping, and computer-aided system engineering to do planning, design, and implementation of your information system. The first one is modeling. So before you come up with a system, you model the system first. Yeah, so describe and simplify an information system. You do a data model so that you know what type of data that you need in your system, and then you do all the different models before you start creating your information system. And then you start with a prototype. Prototype is a smaller version of an information system or an early working version of an information system, meaning that it is already executed. You can execute the system, but the scale is small. Yeah, sometimes some developer they have an offline prototype. Yeah, some have an online prototype, but the data and the functionality is very minimum. And then another way to develop the information system is using case tools, computer-aided system engineering. All right. In computer-aided software engineering, these are the steps, and these are actually the steps in general that you use when you want to build information system. You start from planning, and then you analysis, and then you design, and then you start the building of the information system in implementation. After you build the system, then you maintain the system to make sure that the system can be used by the organization. Overview of system development methods. These are different methods: traditional methods, object-oriented methods, agile methods, adaptive methods. We will look into this in much more detail in future chapters. Okay, structured analysis. Yeah, system development life cycle, or SDLC, a very structured way to do to build information systems step by step. Predictive approach. Use a set of process models to describe a system graphically. A process-centered technique, and waterfall model. Yeah. Um, Please refer to your textbook to have a more um, clear and more concise and precise explanation on this system development method. Okay, some more on structured analysis. Yeah, you can see the word SDLC. Yeah, it focus on the end product or deliverables. What do you want to achieve from the system? There's disadvantage because the waterfall model does not emphasis on interactivity. Can be valid if SDLC phase are not followed uh, rigidly. Yeah, SDLC model usually includes 5 steps, as the one that we have seen before this: planning, analysis, design, implementation, support, and security. Support and security can also be referred to as maintenance. Yeah. So structured analysis, you start with planning. So you get the system requests. So what does the system need? What is the basic component of the company? Yeah. So all these are in planning, including the preliminary investigation. The next one is analyze. Yeah, when you have the data from your preliminary investigation in planning, you analyze your data, and then you will come up with requirement modeling. Yeah, you have a model. After you have the data, you look into the data. So what model can you build? And you discuss this with the user. And then you start designing the system based on your model that you have. So you can design the input, process, output, the IPO. Yeah, and then you will have the um, um, decision on how to specifically design your system, in what platform, and so on. And then you implement. Yeah, so after you design, you implement your system. Yeah, system implementation. So you have the system up, and then you test, you document. Yeah, documentation is very important because it will be a guide, yeah, for the user of the system to look at what is the functionality of the system, and then you assess and evaluate to know whether your system can perform or not. The support and security is very important to maintain a system to make sure that it is well designed based on the needs of the user. The next one is object-oriented analysis. Yeah, OO. This combine data and process that is called object. Yeah, so you look at the business processes as an object. So you combine the data with the object itself. Okay, I usually follow a series of analysis and design phases that are similar to SDLC, but it is more interactive. Agile method is another method in building system development. The third method, and this one have feedback. Yeah, Agile community has published Agile manifesto, and it has the main advantage of Agile method is the feedback and iterative development. Yeah, meaning that you can go forward, go back between the steps of development to improve your system. Okay, Agile method determines the end result, and adaptive variation and related method exist. Yeah. Other development methods are listed here. Okay, here also a few more development methods. System development guidelines. Yeah, you will start with a plan. The plan must involve user. So because the user will be using your system, so you have to listen carefully to them. Use project management tool to identify tasks and milestones, meaning that you will have a planning over time. Yeah? So meaning that the first month, what do you want to achieve? The second month, the third month, and it is based on the overall time frame that is given to you by your client. Also, in system development, you have to come up with accurate cost and benefit. Yeah, so to make sure that your system is not over budget or under budget. And at the same time, you have to remain flexible based on the needs of your client. So a very important part in the organization is IT department, because a lot of system information for a company is held by the IT department of the company. Yeah, so you can see the policy, the support, and so on by knowing the policy of the IT department. Okay, here is some user that can exist, yeah, in IT department: database admin, network admin, webmasters, and also quality assurance, yeah, in terms of the IT department, to make sure that the system that is exists in the company adhere to a specific good quality practices. This is what system analysts do. Yeah, so when you build a system, you are actually part of the system analysts. Yeah, building an information system. So you start with investigation, analyze, design. Yeah, and then on large project, the system analysts work as a member of an IT department team. Yeah, smaller companies often use consultant to perform system analysis. Responsible is translate business requirement into IT project, because you need to system analyst usually is the bridge between the organization and the building of an IT project or information system project. Yeah. So here it says require technical knowledge, strong oral and written communication skill, because you will deal with the um, people, and then the system analysts also deal with the developer of the system. Okay, these are position certification of system analyst. All right, now we come to the chapter summary. So you can see what we have talked about in this chapter is definition of IT, definition of information system, the components of those information system. Also, we identify information system, different type of information system, and also the different organization structure reflective of who are the user, yeah, different user in an organization. Okay, we have seen the how system analysts use different tools. What are the different tools? Case tools, the development approaches, structured, object-oriented, and agile method. Okay, here it says regardless of the development strategy, people, task, timetable, and costs must be managed effectively using project management tools. Yeah, because by having project management tools, you can have a better strategy. System analysts need a combination of technical and business knowledge. System analysts need to consider all this when making a career decision. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. We will continue with chapter 2 in the next discussion. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. Thank you.